What's going on? Dylan Conrad, Metabolic AF. Today I'm going to talk to you about the number one reason why you've been struggling with your weight. Before I get into that, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, turn notifications on Spotify, iTunes, like, rate, and review. All helps the algo. So, the number one reason why you've been struggling with your weight. So weight is a very sensitive topic, and especially in today, parts of woke culture and society, trying to lose weight is considered toxic and negative, and which is very interesting because it used to be looked at as something that was all about personal development. And if you've ever gone through a journey, or worked with a coach, it is personal development because it's more mental than anything. And my experience growing up, chubby, very insecure, and it came with a mindset. It came with a mindset of ultra sensitivity. I wasn't always sensitive until I was teased. And, it'd make me cry on a lot of different occasions, just getting teased. But also had a lot of apathy towards it. I just kind of was disconnected. Just kind of this is always how it's going to have to be. Maybe I'll lose some weight, but I'll gain it back. This is how it's going to be for the majority of my life. And coaching for 17 years, talking to, tens of thousands of people, working personally with thousands of clients, I've noticed there's two types of people. There's those that, like me when I was younger, that compartmentalize and tuck deep down away how they actually feel about their weight. And there's those that wear it on their sleeve and they're very in touch with their emotions, and it brings a lot of pain out, right? I experienced both. Became more compartmentalized when I had stuff going on with my family and my brother, and I compartmentalized that, and then I compartmentalized the chubbiness, being teased on the other side, and it brought a lot of apathy, which is if you've ever been apathetic towards something, and it's not a great place to be. You feel very defeated. You feel just very flat, very just there's no spark in you left, right? And which clients do you think get better results in our program? Is it the apathetic ones towards how they feel about their weight, or is it the ones that are very in touch and real with their emotions and how they feel? It's the ones that are really in touch with their emotions, because there's two types of motivation. There's towards motivation and there's away from motivation. Now, if you have one or the other, that's great. If you have both together, that's huge. So what is away from motivation? Away from pain, where you're feeling right now. You want to escape your current situation, right? So that's away from motivation. Towards motivation is more of drinking a Corona on the beach in Hawaii, looking down and loving your physique. You got a flat stomach. You can see definition. You're walking around ultra confident, feeling great. That's towards motivation. Now, both work, but again, together works. But what doesn't work ever is apathy, is not really expressing to yourself how you feel, especially your coach. If you're working with a coach or a potential coach, not holding that back isn't doing you good, and it's not helping anyone out. It's not helping the coach out. If you want to have a fluffy conversation, by all means do that. Probably find, a different person to listen to than me. But if you want to get some real results and do what's been proven for 17 years, thousands of people, get really in touch with your emotions, okay? Because you'll never change unless the pain of where you're at spurs that change and you have enough towards motivation to keep that change going, okay? Motivation comes in waves, but if you don't have a real deep burning desire towards your motivation and away from your motivation, mostly away, you'll crash and burn. Because away from motivation, moving from the pain that you're in right now works way better than towards, unfortunately. I think it's because how we're kind of programmed as humans. Survival, right? We survived by escaping that situation, whether we're running from predators, fighting war, whatever it was, right? So that fight or flight kicked in. We went away from motivation. So what's the exercise here? How do I get more in touch? Okay, this is actually, I don't want you to like sit in a room and feel your feelings. I want you to get a piece of paper out. Probably better if you write this out than type it out, but if you don't have access to paper, just write it out. And ask yourself what your goal is, like what your dream goal is. The one that if you shut off that little voice in your head telling you couldn't do it, like where do you actually want to be? Okay. And then ask yourself, why do I want to achieve that goal? Like what's the real deep down reason I actually want to achieve that goal? Okay. Whatever the answer is to that, you're going to ask yourself why that reason is important to you. Okay. And you're going to ask yourself 3 more times once you get the answer about each answer. Go deep 5 times, and it should be the why that creates a deep amount of emotion. Some people call it the why that makes you cry. I don't think you have to cry, but it has to trigger some sort of emotion, right? So if you want to make a change and not just do another quick fix, find the deep why and write that down, put it on your computer, put it on your mirror, so you're reminded every day about why you're actually getting in shape in the first place and why you want to make a change. Because otherwise it's never going to laugh. And it sounds woo-woo. I get it. I totally get it. But there is a big portion of research and experience to actually support this, by science, but also by usage, right? You look at people like Conor McGregor, he talks all about secret and moving away from where he was and towards where he wanted to be. And he became what he was, right? Anyone that's had successful, you can have some sort of parallel story. There's a lot to it. There's something to it. There's a lot to it, okay? So, if this is you, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I'm not connected to how I actually feel about where I'm currently at right now. I need to connect. You need help doing it. I do one-on-one consultations for 15 minutes for free. I don't charge anything for it. Okay. I don't charge a dime. Okay. And I do think I know what my time is worth. It's a lot more than free. I can tell you that. Especially when you're living in LA and you have family. But book that call. I'm going to put the booking link. If you have already, maybe we had a call already. Obviously we do 2 different calls. On that second call, I want you to really think about that before we head to the next call. Okay. Anyways, I love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll chat with you soon.